day, good night, or welcome back. Returning guests, I got the brother, I got the sibling, I got the kinfolk with me. A-Noot, what it do, sibling? Welcome back to the broadcast. How art thou?
Greetings. Thank you again, Sibling Noble. You are amazing at what you do, man. One of the best platforms on the planet, not just YouTube. You're doing amazing work, spreading the knowledge, allowing the awareness and the frequency to resonate throughout the planet, not just in the UK, but also here in the United States, as well as the Caribbean and South America, Africa, Australia, wherever you may be on these 7 continents. We are appreciative of what it is that you bring to the sphere as far as journalism is concerned. Journalism has taken a dip as far as how the truth and knowledge is being spread amongst the planet. So I'm appreciative to be on the platform and to be able to, just spread some of my awareness, some of my wisdom, some of my intelligence, some of my knowledge, as well as being able to spread Noon, in which I rep all the time. This is where you get these symbols from. That's where my last name comes from. That particular science has allowed me to open up my mind, allowed me to see things in a clearer sphere as far as the world is concerned, learning about nature, learning about everything that will allow me to be able to carry on, this legacy of truth, knowledge, and understanding. All right. So thank you again.
You're most welcome, sibling, and honors for your kind words. I'm standing on the shoulders, as you don't know, sibling, of the greats, man, of the ones who came before us, all of them, who tried to bring forth true freedom, righteousness, and equality. So, as you don't know, certain people are carved and cut from different cloths, and we clearly are those ones, and we're putting our expertise out there. We're sometimes putting financial bits on the line to be able to put the information out there. So, you know what I mean? It's all for the cause, man. These are, as I say to my co-hosts, what we're doing is so vital because it's a time capsule. Every one of these builds, kinfolk, that we do is a time capsule, and the siblings that come after us, they're going to look back and think, what on earth was going on? And then they're going to stumble on these audio and visual time capsules and like, wow, these, at least I know our people was trying to do something. We're actually manifesting righteousness within their circumference and pushing it out there. They didn't just accept it. Because we can then go back into history and we can read the diaries, we can read the works again of those greats who have propelled us. So I'm only a link in the chain, man. And without these links and these chains, we do not continue, boss. So it's a must. All we got is us, sibling. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's absolutely true. And an important fact to also mention is that we are in times right now where we are basically on the brink of what's the word that I'm looking for? The brink of what is the word of not extinction, but on the brink of basically like a catastrophic event or cataclysm.
Yes.
Right. So, and the reason why I'm saying that is because more and more, we just had this discussion before we got on the live. They're drilling the planet for more oil, more oil.
Yes.
As we were speaking before, my home country being Guyana, they found a lot of oil there, and now they found a lot of oil off the shores of Barbados. They're drilling oil in the Strait of Hormuz. They're drilling oil at Venezuela. Venezuela currently has the largest amount of oil on the planet, and these places, and all of this drilling of the oil is going to cause a lot of issues as far as the physical planet is concerned.
If humans were to overexploit Earth's oil reserves, it could have potential consequences for the lubricating properties of oil in geological faults. Here's a breakdown of what could happen. 1. Increased seismic activity. Natural role of oil. In certain geological formations, oil and other fluids like water or gas can act as a lubricant between rock layers or faults. This lubrication may reduce friction and help tectonic plates or faults move smoothly. Impact of extraction. Removing large quantities of oil could increase friction in these faults, potentially leading to a buildup of stress. When this stress is eventually released, it could trigger earthquakes, especially in tectonically active regions. Example: human activities like wastewater injection, a byproduct of oil extraction, have already been linked to induced seismicity in areas like Oklahoma. 2. Subsidence and surface instability. What happens? Removing oil creates voids in underground reservoirs. Without proper management, this can cause land to sink or collapse, a process known as subsidence. Impact: subsidence can damage infrastructure, alter ecosystems, and even exacerbate flooding in certain areas. 3. Disruption of geological cycles. Complex systems. The Earth's crust relies on a balance of pressure, temperature, and fluid dynamics. Removing large amounts of oil could disrupt these delicate systems. Potential effects. Over time, such disruption might contribute to shifts in fault behavior, altering the timing and nature of earthquakes or volcanic activity. 4. Energy and heat transfer. Fluids like oil and gas also play a role in transferring heat within Earth's crust. Excessive extraction might slightly alter local heat flow patterns, potentially impacting geothermal systems and ecosystems dependent on subterranean heat. Is this analogy relevant? Just as removing too much cerebrospinal fluid could harm the brain by increasing pressure and damaging tissue, excessive extraction of Earth's oil could destabilize natural geological systems. While oil is vital for Earth's survival, its overuse might make Earth's movements, earthquakes, plate shifts less predictable and more dangerous.
We know that things are happening because the planet is literally cooking right now. You have a heat wave going on over there in the UK. There was a heat wave not too long ago in the United States of America. Just overall, the planet is not able to balance herself out.
A dangerous heat wave gripping Europe. Sizzling from Spain to France to Italy and Germany, millions now under heat alert. In France, the extreme heat turning deadly, costing at least 18 people their lives. In the French capital, some schools closing early this week, and the city's fountains and cooling stations packed as Paris nears its hottest June days ever recorded. Elsewhere, Spanish soccer fans got a refreshing dousing by civil protection services. And across Italy, multiple cities under red alerts.
We try to seek shelter when we can and go home and take a nap at the hottest times of the day.
Meteorologists blame a massive heat dome, a ridge of high pressure trapping hot air from North Africa, with scientists warning human-driven climate change is making extreme heat more frequent and more intense. And what makes it even deadlier over here, air conditioning is just not that common. Across parts of Europe, only about 20% of households have AC. In the UK, it's about 14%. Health alerts now in effect across England, and forecasters warn the worst may still be ahead later this week.
You know, for whatever balancing would mean as far as the planet is concerned. So with all of this drilling, with all of these wars, bombs, you know, the mentality of the people being much lower than what we would expect it to be, and the thing is, we can gauge not by necessarily seeing frequency, but we can gauge by witnessing the frequency of the people's minds, the frequencies of the leaders of the planet, what type of frequency that we are operating on. You know, albeit folks like Donald Trump, folks like Benjamin Netanyahu, folks like this guy over there in Russia, Vladimir Putin, folks like Xi Jinping over in China. So these are the global powers, right? And I'm not saying this as if they're great people. I'm saying this because they are folks who are running the planet. And usually the overarching frequency are the ones who are leading on the planet. Until we change that particular mindset and we change that frequency and we go to another frequency, this is the overarching frequency of the planet. Now, when leadership starts to change, when we start to see leadership change, that's when we're going to see a shift in frequency, right? So I got to give shout out to those kins, or what the world will call brothers down there in the Sahel region for causing hell to the Caucasian.
Yes,
especially our kin, what's his name, Captain Ibrahim Traoré.
Moi, mon plus grand regret, c'est d'avoir passé une bonne partie de ma jeunesse à écouter des radios comme RFI, France 24. J'ai été dans des pays où ces radios étaient fermées. Mais on prenait des applications, on enregistre leur journal pour écouter. Mais à partir d'un moment, il y a un déclic. Et je commence à comprendre qu'ils conditionnent nos cerveaux pour accepter ce qu'ils veulent. C'est leur narratif qu'ils veulent qu'on apprenne. Et depuis ce temps, moi, je commence à faire la part des choses. Et j'ai compris que c'est très dangereux ce qu'ils font. Et aujourd'hui, plus que jamais, je me rends compte qu'ils ont conditionné l'esprit, surtout des Africains.
Yeah.
You know, is doing a good job down there. I wouldn't say great job as yet, but good job as far as what he's doing in that region. You know, he's following those that has given him the blueprint, you know, like Thomas Sankara, who was brutally killed and murdered.
Yeah.
He was the one that named Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso
is a name drawn from the land itself, which has meaning in our language, which means land of honest men.
Why did you want to change the name of Upper Volta?
Yes, because Upper Volta, it meant nothing to anyone, especially to us Burkinabe. It's a name that only reminds us of a colonial past.
Which stands for the upright people.
Yeah.
So,
former Voltaire. Formerly Voltaire.
Voltaire. Oh, that was the name of the country before that. I thought it was I forgot what was the name of the country before that. Was it no, that was the Gold Coast. That was what you call it? Hold on, let me see. Burkina Faso original name was, oh yeah, you're right. The Republic of the Upper Volta.
Yeah.
Yeah, which comes from the French.
Exactly, you know? Sibling. It's nuts. It's nuts, man. That and you know what's so? It's so disheartening that you have the settlers now who are throwing up in people's faces. Why are you guys so mad about what happened before? Why are you so angry? Like, that's the past now. We're not hanging you guys from trees anymore. Look, we've even given you our women to be able to deal with, you know, there's no redlining, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. There's no redlining taking place. There's no misogyny laws. There's no Jim Crow. We now allow you to read, because before, remember, we never allowed you to read. If they knew you would be able to read, they would kill you. So we've come a long way, guys. Forget about it. But then his story is there for a reason, and it directly impacts everything which is taking place. The French, as you're discussing, went over there and took places, took people, destroyed, pillaged, murdered, and did all kind of despicable acts. Changed names, put one tribe against another, be the intermediary. I'll bring forth peace and righteousness in these troubled times. And then we fast forward to the Gregorian year of 2026, and a lot of those people on the continent of Africa post the Berlin Conference when they did.
14 European nations gathered in Berlin in 1884, locked themselves in a room with 0 Africans invited, and spent over 100 days slicing up an entire continent like a corporate pie chart. According to official treaty records, they established a lawless rule. If your military could physically occupy a piece of African land, you could legally claim it. In 1870, Europeans controlled just 10% of Africa. By 1914, they had stolen 90%. The unfiltered horror peak was King Leopold II of Belgium, who claimed the entire Congo as his private personal property, a landmass 76 times the size of Belgium. To enforce rubber quotas, his mercenary army weaponized absolute terror, slaughtering entire villages and collecting baskets of severed hands as corporate receipts. Historians document that between 5 and 10 million Congolese people died under his direct rule. As W.E.B. Du Bois exposed, this wasn't about civilization. This was systematic global resource theft engineered by white supremacy.
The partitioning. Look at where those people are now. They're flooding to the wilderness of North America. They're flooding to Europe and they're flooding to the UK because it's unstable because of what your ancestors did.
Yep.
Be honest. Have an honest come to Jesus moment and be honest. Look what we've did. How can we? It's their kingdom now, A-Noot.
Yeah.
Pardon self. It's their kingdom right now. They have an opportunity to say, you know what? Look, we've messed up. We've messed up royally. Let's put the people in the position where they need to be and put this thing back where evenly balance the scale. My acts.
Yeah, they don't see. Here's the thing. They've gotten it to the point where they're able to go into our countries, albeit Guyana, you got Venezuela, any country that has valuable resources, and they're able now to go in there and automatically just take it, right? Not knowing that the wealth of that country is for the wealth of the people. So that's why they're able to really do what they need to do. They don't care about who's suffering.
Maduro offered everything in his country, all the natural resources. He even recorded a message to you in English recently, offering mediation. What should we do in order to stop that?
He has offered everything. He's offered everything. You're right. You know why? Because he doesn't want to fuck around with the United States. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Right? Even the government, they will overthrow whatever government they need to overthrow in order to get the natural resources that they want.
Did you know the CIA once overthrew a foreign government just to keep oil cheap? In 1953, Iran's Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh nationalized Iran's oil. The British and Americans weren't happy. So the CIA launched Operation Ajax, a secret coup. They spread propaganda, paid protesters, and bribed officials. In just days, Mossadegh was out, and the Shah, a US ally, returned to power. Iran's democracy died, and resentment against the US began. And that one move still haunts US-Iran relations to this day.
History repeats itself. Once again, oil and power decide who gets to lead. Once upon a time, deep in South America, lies Venezuela, a nation sitting on the largest oil reserves in the world, a treasure bigger than even Saudi Arabia's. For decades, US oil companies profited here, but under Maduro, much of that oil was taken out of foreign hands and tightly controlled by the state. This cut off billions in potential profits for American energy giants, and Washington wasn't happy. But oil was just the beginning. Maduro turned east, strengthening ties with America's biggest rivals, Russia, China, and Iran. Suddenly, US adversaries had influence right in America's own backyard. To Donald Trump, this wasn't just a problem, it was a threat, a regime backed by Moscow and Beijing, sitting on oceans of oil, right next door. And in truth, this wasn't new. It was the same strategy we've seen throughout history. Powerful nations using oil and influence to reshape governments in their favor.
One of the main countries that we see that happening with is Haiti. Look at what's going on with Haiti.
Yeah.
Right? They want to keep Haiti in a chaotic state, and they love chaos. And chaos means that any Haitian that wants to go back to Haiti to even rebuild it or try to make it a better nation, they know that nobody's gonna want to go back there, right? They want to keep it in a state of chaos. That way, when they come in with the fix it plan, right, now they can take over. And you know who's taking over Haiti at this particular point in time? It's still Bill Clinton and his organization.
The Bill and Hillary Foundation.
Well, we have every reason to be mad because the Clintons have destroyed Haiti for the decades. And, you know, they pretend to be our friends when in reality they are our number one enemies. You know, there are some other people who clearly behave like they don't like us. So it's easy for us to protect ourselves against them because we know they are our enemies. But the Clintons are even more dangerous because they pretend to be our friends when in reality they're destroying Haiti.
Because I heard that the Clinton Foundation and all these other organizations gave over $6 billion to Haiti for the relief effort, especially during the kind of natural disasters that you guys have gone through. Is that true?
No, it's more than true. The money is much more than $6 billion. You see, after the earthquake, countries around the world donate billions of dollars. The amount was much larger than $6 billion. And Bill Clinton was in charge of the money. And not only people around the world, but also American celebrities donate a lot of larger money to rebuild Haiti. And hundreds of homes were destroyed after the earthquake. And if you can believe, the people are still living under tents. That's unacceptable. And not only they held the money, they kept the money, but Haiti had enough resources for them to be very comfortable. Haiti have oil, more oil than Venezuela. Nobody's talking about. Haiti have gold. We have one of the largest gold mine in the Caribbean. So, and they let the world, nobody's saying anything about our goals. Yeah. And who do you think is in charge of our goal right now? The contract. Yeah. Tony Rodham, Hillary Clinton's brother. Wow. He's got a 26 years contract. And then also Haiti used to produce, we used to produce our own rice. We didn't have to buy rice overseas. Bill Clinton destroyed our rice so his brother can sell the rice from Arkansas.
Yeah, wow.
So they're doing a lot of things. Right now, if there's a millionaire or a billionaire who wants to do business in Haiti, they cannot do anything unless they check with the Clintons. The Clintons are the one who's running Haiti. Yeah, wow. And we are living in the 21st century. We are the first black people who liberate ourselves from the French rule. We fought 3 empires, the British, the Spanish, the French. So it's unacceptable for us to be occupied right now.
As we saw the investigations into where a lot of the relief funds for Haiti came into, and it ultimately went nowhere to the people but big multinational corporations, and a lot of the people who are still dealing with that natural disaster never got any relief because all the money that was funneled into them, even through the Red Cross, even through the Clinton Global Initiative, which the Clinton Global Initiative sometimes uses and brags like, look, we helped out Haiti, we did this for Haiti. What did they do for Haiti, and what's the current situation there?
What have the Clinton, not only Haiti, what have the Clinton done with their foundation? They don't help anyone. They're just enriching themselves. Going, stealing people's money, resources, that's what they do. We're asking friends, the American friends, to stand up with us. This is unacceptable. We cannot allow this to happen. We are living in the 21st century. We cannot allow a liar, a crooked, a thief to be president. We cannot allow that to happen. If that happened, I will have no respect for America or United States anymore. Yeah. Because I used to believe America was the greatest country in the world, but there is no more justice anymore. Yep. Because the American justice is crooked. Look how they're supporting Hillary Clinton.
Yes, indeed.
Bill and Hillary were given that that privilege.
Yes.
To go into Haiti and do what they want, but that don't mean that Bill and Hillary is going there by themselves. No, we're gonna give you all the weapons. We're going to give you all the CIA agents that you can go in there. As a matter of fact, we're going to give you the best Haitian CIA agents, those that love America so much they don't even want to see Haiti thrive. Mm-hmm. So they will send in their own people to go and overthrow Haiti's government.
Yes.
Right now, I think they have a gang leader over there that's running things.
Yep. Barbecue or something like that. It's got some kind of crazy name.
What kind of name is that?
This is Barbecue, a former cop and head of an alliance of armed gangs in Haiti. Haiti is in deep, deep trouble. Law and order's collapsed, and amongst the scramble for power, gangs control much of the capital. And at the centre of the gangs is Jimmy, Barbecue Charitier. But why is he called Barbecue? He denies he's earned his nickname due to a penchant for burning his opponents alive.
He's claiming that his nickname comes from his mother, who was selling roasted chicken on the streets of Haiti. Again, there are the conflicting reports about that. And we know that he's ruthless, so there's no question. And why he's so important is also because he's also playing the political game, and he's definitely playing the PR game.
Come on now.
Sibling. And let's not forget, since we're bringing up this, let's add the detail to it. Let's not forget the scandal relating to the so-called humanitarian aid post the earthquake that took place, and their helpers were trafficking children, were they? This is mainstream news. Mainstream media put this up only real quickly. They flashed it. No one really took any notice of it, and they've moved slightly back on.
Facts.
How does trafficking work? Give us the modus operandi. What happens?
Well, it's difficult to say, obviously, because it's a clandestine form of activity. But often traffickers are people who are known in communities. They develop relationships. Often the kinds of trafficking that happen in places like Haiti, the reste avec, or reste avec in French, stay with phenomenon, is something that happens when a family feels that it can't care for its children adequately, and it sends them to what it presumes to be a wealthier family in another area to provide domestic service in exchange for food and shelter and clothes and possibly an education. What happens often, however, is that the terms of the child's living there are not very well, they're not monitored at all, they're not very well established, and children are often treated harshly. Sometimes there's violence, sometimes they're not provided the entitlements that they think they're entitled to, and sometimes they're sexually abused. Often they're caused to leave those families before they turn 15, which is the age at which they should be legally paid, and then they go on the streets.
And how much sexual slavery, Maggie, is involved in this?
Larry, I think when children are abandoned or separated from their families and not in the care and affection of their parents, they are exposed to all kinds of dangers, including sexual exploitation, which of course is not unheard of in Haiti. We have seen some statistics suggesting that up to maybe a third of our young women, especially in the city, do suffer some kind of sexual violence. So it is a danger here, even before the quake. And there's no reason to think that those numbers have decreased.
Anderson, how do we know an orphan is an orphan? When you see a little child on the street there, how do you know if parents are living, what the situation is? Is the father living, mother dead? How do you know?
Well, you don't really know. I mean, you can talk to them, but oftentimes they are simply separated, and they will tell you, I heard my mother died, but I don't know. I mean, people just disappear here, Larry, in the earthquake. A mother goes out to buy something at the store collapsed on her. The child hasn't seen her, but has heard through stories that she's dead. So there really needs to be a system in place. I know UNICEF is working on it, Save the Children as well. I'm sure the Red Cross will be involved in trying to identify and basically catalog all these unaccompanied minors out there with the aim of reuniting them with parents if parents are out there.
No, what's disheartening about it too? What's disheartening about it is that this is a global network of trafficking and it is so intricate that we wouldn't even the best minds won't even begin to understand how intricate this system is when it comes to